Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be the water signs reading, and this is timeless, but essentially I'm pulling from and dropping four energies that I'm kind of pulling out of the Akashic record for August 1st through 31st, 2021. Alright, so we're doing water signs. We've got Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We've got a month worth of energy that, because it's for the collective, it could hit you at a different point in time. It's sort of whenever you come across this video. Alright, so if you're having a time watching this and you think other people might find it useful, go ahead and do that old liking, sharing, commenting kind of thing, because that is free and does not cost anything. Alright, so I've pulled some cards already, and I think I did this. I'm pretty sure this is the same way that I read the fire signs. So what I've got is I've been looking at where the planets are, and I pulled some cards out of a deck that I've shuffled that went along with those energies. Okay. So there's a cluster of... There's 4 days during August where the moon is going to be in Taurus. On the 1st, and then again at the end of the month from the 27th through the 29th. And that is what this Six of Pentacles card is representing. There's also 4 days in August when the moon is going to be in Gemini. So on the 2nd to the 4th, and then on the 30th and the 31st. There's some like weird notations that I drew on my notes, and I'm not sure what's going on there. So because it's somewhat unusual for a moon to spend that much time in a sign in a given month, and in each of them twice. I mean, because usually that's what happens if the month is short enough, and you start off at a certain spot in the zodiac, then you'll get that. So it's these energies at the beginning of the month, and then after the new moon and after the full moon, which like July is also in Aquarius. After the Lion's Gate, we go back and we get these same energies again. So I have the Six of Pentacles representing that moon and Taurus energy, and then I have the Ten of Swords inverted, which is the sun in Gemini, but inverted tells me moon energy. So Ten of Swords inverted, Six of Pentacles representing something that the moon is doing both at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month. There's a lot of Leo energy still. So the sun is in Leo. On the 1st through the 21st, the moon is in Leo. On the 7th through the 9th, there's a new moon in Leo on the 8th, which is like the pinnacle of the Lion's Gate 8-8. The new moon, like a ground zero kind of energy is what I want to say. And then Mercury is in Leo on the 1st through the 10th. So the energy that I got for what's going on in Leo is the Three of Cups. There's a motorcycle, hold on. So the Three of Cups is Mercury in Cancer. Cancer is the moon energy. But again, if I take a moon card and I want to have sun energy, I'll turn it upside down. But because I have the moon and the sun with this mercurial energy, I've put it in the challenge position. It's like oscillating. So I have this Leo energy that's bringing in this Three of Cups moment where there's a shift happening. Something's going on here. Now, there's also a lot of Virgo energy going on. Right? The sun goes into Virgo on the 22nd and continues to the end of the month. The moon is in Virgo on the 10th and 11th, which brings in this Three of Cups energy again because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury itself is in Virgo on the 11th through the 29th, Venus in Virgo on the 1st through the 15th, and Mars in Virgo on the 1st through the 31st. So there's 4 planets clustering in on the 11th. Right, the sun doesn't come till later, but those other planets are all only in Virgo on the 11th. Which is interesting because I have this progression 8, 9, 10, but there's no 11. There's like a gap there. I also noticed that there's no 7 because I have a 5 over here, I have a 6 here, but there's no 7 of Pentacles. So in terms of a progression, I'm looking for the 7 of Pentacles and I'm looking for the 11, which would be the Page. There's something that seems to be missing, something a little bit off. Something that's being worked towards. So anyway, the 8 of Pentacles is the sun in Virgo, right? That's coming a little bit later. But then Venus in Virgo is the 9, and Mercury in Virgo is the 10. And then I'm still feeding off of this Three of Cups energy with this block as well. There's a cluster in Libra in August as well. Okay, so the moon is in Libra on the 12th and the 13th. And this is giving me Two of Swords, the moon in Libra. Mercury is in Libra on the 30th to the 31st, and then Venus on the 16th to the 31st. So if I'm looking at a card that has Mercury and Venus on it, I'm looking at Mercury in Taurus, which is giving me the 5 of Pentacles right now. So that's why I pulled out those cards. It has to do with what's going on in the skies and which cards relate to which astrological things. This is the Aquarian Tarot. I have cleared it and shuffled it and then pulled these cards out and shuffled it a little bit more. I'll probably get some more cards from this. I'm also going to be using the Wild Unknown Tarot. And if I can get a hold of it, the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. So these are the decks that were calling to me when I went to prepare this reading. I'm also going to be using these Scrabble tiles. There they are. Okay, I guess I'm getting those now. So I had the letter E drop out. It's coming in like a little table. So you have the number 1 here. I'm just hearing like everybody needs somebody sometime. I've got one that's trying to hide over here face down by the card. So let's see what this is. So we have an O. Also with a number 1 face down. Oh, everybody plays the Fool. The goose egg, that's the Fool. I'm getting an 11 here between these two numbers. 11. That's missing. I should set these down too. Okay, there's a lot here. So I have another O. Be the Fool there. I have another E that's trying to make a table. Make the table position. So I have this U that's upside down. It's looking like a magnet. And I have the letter B, number 3. Put that over I'm like, making me think of butane. Okay, so I have this double stack. I have an A and an E over here. This time it's up. You know what these remind me of is like when you go to get an eye test to get your license, if you have corrective lenses, or I guess even if you don't, they have, at least in New Hampshire, they have this little light box that you look into with all these E's pointing in different directions, and you have to say like which way it's going. So I have L and A next to each other. Perhaps Los Angeles or something else that has to do with the letters L and A might be relevant here. And then I've got these other ones facing down. So I have G with a number 2. It's making me think of gravity, like gravity pulling down on something. I have a letter N coming in sideways, which makes me want to put it with this 3 of cups. Ooh, I just saw B-U-N, and then there's a G over here, an L, and an E. It's making me think of Bungle in the Jungle by Jethro Tull. And I can't really remember the lyrics, but I can hear it in my head, like the sound of it. So go look up that song, Bungle in the Jungle by Jethro Tull. It's a band, not a person. It's a little bit like natural selection. So here's another N going sideways. So there's 2 N's and there's 2 different things pulling on the 3 of cups. The nodes. And I have another letter E. Ooh, I just saw G, O, O, and then L, and then E. And it's like Google, but it's missing the other G. So you see bugle. Like little boy blue blowing his horn. Bugle. Noon. Ooh, something at noon. Like in the middle of the day. There's a lot of vowels here. It's making me think of like Hawaii. Because like the Hawaiian language is full of vowels. Which makes me think of the 4 of Wands, because in my music deck, the 4 of Wands is Israel. I'm never gonna get his name right. It's like Kamakawo Ole. I know that's not right, but I'm trying really hard to learn his name and be able to say it right. But incidentally, he's Hawaiian, or he was when he was alive, and it's a wonderful world / somewhere over the rainbow. That's my 4 of Wands. That's what that's making me think of. No one like you. I'm also getting simply the best. Like you're simply the best. Tina Turner. Bacon, what? Beagle. No beagle, huh? No beagle. No. No one. League. Like a league of their own. Oh, come on. Oh, bae. Okay. Like slang for a lover. No one... It's like, bae, no one is in your league. That is so weird. Okay. There's something else here. Bail. loan. No, that's not right. A loon. Someone's crazy. Of course, a loon would go into that moon energy. I also just saw any, like anybody got, can anybody find me someone to love? B. Oh, B as in the, like, the animal. It's like 20,000 leagues under the sea. That's that cup's energy. But loon is also, it has a unique call. And it's a bird that can dive underwater and fly. And is black and white. But it's spotted, so it's like it's not one or the other. It's all of those things. The same way that B is striped. It's not just black or yellow, it's both things at once. And they go long distances for the flowers. Now I'm saying bang, and it could be sexual slang. But it could also be something that's explosive or expansive. Right? Like the universe is expanding, or it feels like you're drifting away from me, or it's like something being detonated. I feel like I want to say the word guess, but there's no S's. A bane? Oh, okay. Something that's been troubling people for a long time. Like the bane of my existence. Bane! Something that's gonna end up becoming a gift in some way, a boon. But then I still have this to do something with. I'm thinking. Okay, so we're doing something towards achieving goals. Achieving a long-standing goal. I feel like this is wanting to say luau, but it's not spelled right. Oh, I just saw go, like go it alone. So I just saw something like imbued with. Something imbued with the essence or energy of something else. Something that's been nagging at someone for a long time in order that it might be shifted. Someone's felt bogged down by it for a while. So I've got these other letters here. They're just these, I've got these 3 E's And then I have this U, and it feels like these are trying to turn into this, like the thing itself is trying to shift. It's trying to morph into something else. But it also makes me think of like parts of a person, like parts of words. Like I'm having trouble forming the entire words. I can't, like I have ideas, but I can't express them. Which is possibly what's happening with these swords here and these swords over here. But in the meantime, I'm just going to put these loose letters over here instead of playing with these tiles more, because this feels a lot like, again, like dead things just kind of sitting like all leathery, like in a bog itself. But there's something that's this idea of going it alone or being alone, feeling bogged down by something, feeling nagged by something, like, oh, why is this all on me? Like, that's not fair. So I'm looking at, I see these energies. I already mentioned that there's an 11 that seems to be missing. There's a 7 that seems to be missing. Now, the way that I'm looking at this energy, I'm seeing someone's trying to balance out, getting to a balance point with this 6 of Pentacles, right? It's sort of, it can be a masculine energies, heart center being opened, and that could go for anybody because everyone has masculine and feminine energies within them. Depends how you're feeling on a certain day. It could be, you know, my ends are finally meeting. You know, I don't have to worry about where next month's bills are going to come from. Like, it's coming in. It could also be I feel charitable. You know, like I feel like I've been able to make headway in my manifestation. I'm feeling better, like in my physical body, right? I'm not sick right now. I feel okay. Moon in Taurus. It's such an interesting combination for that card because it's sort of a low vibration of the Empress or the Hierophant, but it's also got this secret aspect to it with the moon with more feminine energy. So perhaps this double down of this energy at the beginning and the end of the month is, now that your material stuff is all right, what is the hidden stuff that you're not addressing that makes it hard to have faith in yourself to some degree, right? This is like, I'm trusting that the universe is going to co-create with me. You know, like I'm no longer afraid that the other shoe is going to drop. I can get off the hamster wheel and believe in myself more. This 10 of Swords energy, that is the moon in Gemini. 10 of Swords inverted, I should point out specifically, because upright it's the sun. Again, well, I mean also moon energy, because I'm talking about where the moon is. So at the beginning and end of the month, we're dealing with letting go of certain pain, right? It's like, okay, I'm opening up to my shadow so that I can dump all my pain nuggets out of my shadow box, basically. And in that way, I see, there's a tower moment here, right? 6 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords. Tower moment. Right, I'm breaking something down, but it's controlled. Right, it's not a full-blown emergency survival mode thing. It's happening in a more base material level that, again, it's this like, I no longer feel like the world is out to get me, but I'm reviewing it at the beginning of the month and I'm reviewing it at the end of the month to see how it's different after the new moon and the full moon. And Three of Cups here. Now this could be party, it could be celebration, it could be, is it safe to go out in public? Right? I'm tired of being at home. I'm lonely. I'm alone. I'm bored. You know, I haven't seen my friends in like 14. I haven't seen my friends in 16 months. Like, can I go out into the light of day? Is it too early to party, to celebrate stuff that's been bogging everyone down? Is it too early to celebrate it being over? This is like, it's sort of like, it's kind of like reading like anxiety. It's reading to me like Nine of Swords, even though it's Three of Cups in a challenge position. It's like, it's not full-blown anxiety, it's like apprehension. But it doesn't have to be global situation stuff. It could be, you know, things are starting to work out for me. It's not as painful, but maybe I don't feel like I'm out of the weeds yet. You know, again, like apprehension, like this might seem too good to be true. In terms of relationship, it could also be, you know, somebody breaking up with someone else, blah, 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 you know, the breakdown of a love triangle, perhaps into a duo of sorts, but it's not the main energy because with all these pentacles, it does seem to have a lot to do more with security in general. Do I feel safe? Do I have bills paid? Am I clothed? Am I fed? Is the power on? Can I breathe? Stuff like that. And I could see where a lot of anxiety would come up for water signs, especially for Cancer. Scorpio would probably sit on it and fester, so this Ten of Swords might be particularly helpful when that rolls out inverted. Pisces to me would sort of be in the dream state, which would be where this sort of apprehension would start to fester. And then you get these like weird out-of-body experiences. Out of body. I don't know. There. 5 points out of body. This Leo energy here. It's really trying to be a progression. It's like I want to be on top of the heap for a change. I don't want to be begging and scraping, right? Like, I've done the hard work. I've done everything myself. Like, shouldn't people be giving me my fair due for the goods and services that I offer, that I provide, that I contribute to society in some way? And it's like, I'm doing the work. I have a work plan. I've had to do it all by myself lately because I can't be in contact with anyone, or I've been too broke to pay for services that make it better for me. And then it's haven't I earned this yet? I've gotten rid of this 10. This is let me complete it here. Let me have instead of have not and worried about it going away. And again, it's very much I want to bridge up to a new level, right? I want to expand my material horizons out of, my attic up here in the clouds to a big workshop, right? not maybe it's like I don't want to have a perfect family with a McMansion. I want to, you know, it be in this. I want the fruits of my labor to do something. I don't want them all withering on the vine. And the Libra energy over here, Two of Swords. This is trying to find another perspective, paired with Five of Pentacles, feeling left out. Right? It's like I'm on the outside looking in. I can't figure out what's going on with so-and-so. This could either be water sign not letting anybody in, being suspicious of other people, or this right here could be a romantic thing where either the water sign or their person, or both, if you're both water signs, are not able to communicate in a way where the other person understands how you feel or what you want or what you mean, and everybody feels blocked out, you know, like, well, why aren't you letting me in? You're emotionally unavailable. Like, just, like, say what you mean, tell me what you think, that kind of stuff. And it's just like, oh, well, I don't like your point of view, so I'm going to refuse to comprehend it. That's what's going on here. It's like, you know, it's like, it reminds me of, it reminds me of the McCavity song in Cats. Or he's like, something like, when you let me in, I only want to go out. Because he's very contrarian. I haven't seen I have not seen that CGI friggin' catastrophe. I'm thinking back to the 1997 or 1998 filmed stage production, which is, you know, the gold standard. So, just very, like, I don't know why I want to say Laurel and Hardy, because I haven't even seen those, but it's very much like the cartoon of, like, people chasing each other around, like a cat flap or a revolving door where they're just chasing each other and they're both trying to, like, talk to one another and they don't realize that they're running away from each other at the same time. It's a comedy of errors kind of thing where people just can't seem to get on the same page. Now, the card that's missing here at 11, that would be a page as well, right? There's no page to be on the same page. Alright? So, now that I'm well into this, I can finally pull some more cards. And I do want to clarify, I mean, I'm going to clarify all of these, but I really, like, this Wall of Pentacles probably needs more explanation. So let's start with these bookended moon energies. So I'm going to get some for specifically, I'm just going to pile up all these over here. Ooh, beg. Like, I'm begging you to listen to me. And I also see bend, like unbended knee. I also just heard bang a gong, get it on. That's T-Rex. And I just heard lend me your ears. Lend me your ears. There's no R though, E-A. It's like there's always just, it's like there's always one thing just missing. Like the thoughts never get to complete. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger up here like, oh, okay. Alright. I'm gonna put these up here because I wasn't ready to pull cards over here yet. So I had the Judgment card flip out inverted. And I have this, that's the a 9 of Pentacles inverted. This is my nest egg. And here's my bird. It's like, right, my bird of paradise. And when I was looking at this before, I didn't want to say it out loud, but I heard, like, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose and fart twice. Like, wow, that's really insulting after all this work I just did. Why, though? Moon energy. No, moon. Venus energy. Oh, okay, this is the nightmare. This is the Piscean world. Because it's a mirror. So I have 10 pentacles, I have 8 pentacles, I have 9 pentacles and 9 inverted pentacles. This is the mirror world, this is the dream world, this is the deeper Piscean energy. I have Judgment sitting under a 10 of pentacles, but what I want to do is have this 8 pentacles here, but I'm missing 2 pentacles. Like there's 2 things missing. If I could have 2 of Swords inverted and be able to have clarity, maybe I'd get the 2 that I need. Maybe I need 2 pentacles. Maybe I need to make a choice. Maybe I need to drop all too many projects. There's something again, there's just a couple, like, something's just quite, like, missing a little bit. It's like, I don't know, I just heard don't dream it, be it. It's like, I'm having a hard time manifesting because my dreams in, like, my 5D is, like, less than what I'm trying to achieve for some reason. It's like I'm afraid to dream big enough to expand my material world. That's weird. Let me look at the beginning of the month, the moon energy up top. Judgment is fire. That's Plutonic energy. Is that retrograde? Can't be. Is it retrograde? Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn. Okay. But why does Venus want to be retrograde? So the Ace of Cups inverted over here. Depression. Again, it's like I feel like I can't do it. With the 9 of Wands. Like, hanging around for a long time just feeling inadequate. Like, when is the relief gonna come? Again, this is like feeling like the other shoe. Like, anytime something's finally my ends finally start to meet, I'm paranoid that the other shoe's gonna drop and I'm just gonna be struggling to climb up this fucking staircase again. 2 of Cups. Like, I just want a little bit of hope that, like, the universe or someone else is gonna meet me halfway. That's Venus in Cancer. I'm gonna use the Dreams of Gaia for the end of the month moon energy. This shit over here. Okay. So what about these repeater moon energies after the new moon in, what the fuck is that in? The new moon in Leo and the full moon in Aquarius. Those are the opposite signs, too. Alright, so we've got 2 cards in the challenge position. So I have the 4 of Cups in the challenge position at the end of the month. This card in this deck has to do with having appreciation for your wounds, for realizing that you've survived things and that your battle scars don't mean you're ugly in some way. All right? All these 10 swords might have minced you up pretty good, But that doesn't mean that you're not a lovable person or that you suck in some way, right? There's value in your experiences, both emotional and physical. And this is the Two of Cups again. Wow, that is intense. So Two of Cups for the beginning, although I'm feeling this more on the new moon, and then Two of Cups again after the full moon. That is freaky. It's like trying to restore the Ace of Cups. That like emotional satisfaction. Here it's like, it seems to be saying like, I'm trying, like things are starting to come up, not destitute physically in the money, but there's no emotional celebration, but it seems to me there's a romantic desire, which might lead to what's going on over here in this Libra energy that's coming in more at the end of the month, which is when these cards would pop up for. But there's a lot, I mean, there's a lot of water here, but water signs, what are you going to do? It is what it is. Oh, now the battery's going. I mean, usually it's a pretty good reading when I have trouble keeping track of the time and the battery goes and I forget where I'm at, but it could also just be like fatigue or beer. Okay, so we have Death and Rebirth. So the 10 is technically a death card, right? Stick a fork in me, I am done. But here it's inverted. But I keep seeing it in relation to this Three of Cups. That's 13. That's death and transition. Here it's coming in as an 8, which is that 8-8 on the new moon. Look how dark this is. And you think of the new moon as sort of being conception. There's, like, first there is chaos, which is the void. That's the new moon. There's nothing. And then this rebirth is something that's growing out of the chaos and the darkness as the full moon approaches. I mean, this is essentially the cosmos as the Empress. This is like the egg, the womb that would exist within the Empress. But this is death and rebirth in this deck, because it has unusual major arcana. But there's something to be said for it coming in at a number 8. There's like an infinity to it. It's also like opening up a new world. There's something. There's like again, when I said with these letters that we're just kind of trying to morph into something else, right? It's like I'm mixing up the DNA. I'm like rearranging it. I just heard rearrange me till I'm sane. That's a lyric, but I can't remember what song it's from right now. Ooh, and I heard Shirley in the store too. Garbage. I'm only happy when it rains. Only happy when it rains. That's not the lyric that song is from, but that's what made me think of it. I love her so much. She's so cool. Let me get something more specifically for this Libra energy. I'm also getting this is like a balance between the shadow and the light, but also this balance between I feel like I'm killing myself and I feel like this is like I feel like I can finally exist peacefully, like I'm like the way that I've been is no longer has to be in this basic survival mode. I can maybe thrive now. And then I have wisdom. I mean, and this is coming in at a 10 too. It's like directly in opposition to that. 18, it's moon energy. The courage to change the things I can and not try to change the things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference, or whatever the fuck that thing is. Number 10. It's like an 8, 10. It's like, where's the 9? There's a 9 missing there. But again, this is sort of like the Hermit mixed with, kind of mixed with the Magician. It does give a little bit of, it does break in this sort of mercurial Virgo and energy. What's this? Perception 21. That came out at kind of an angle. This is like, I'm starting to be able to see things. This is kind of like an ultimate version of the High Priestess and what the fuck is her name? Justice. I usually think of the High Priestess as being an energy rung above Justice, right? I usually think of it as coming off of the Queen of Swords and then going to Justice and then going up another level to back to number 2 to the High Priestess. But this card 21 is sitting where the world would normally be as perception, makes me think of the High Priestess recombined again with a higher level of Justice. Making this like turbo Justice psychic angel situation. That's what this card makes me think of. It's like wisdom, and then like being reborn out of that wisdom creates this like incredibly perceptive mind. You know, it's like the ability to understand people and the world and things better, perhaps. But let me look at what's going on with this 3 of Cups. I'm going to go back to... I actually want to go back to the Aquarian Tarot. Let me see what's going on more with this 3 of Cups. The Ace of Rods inverted. It's making me think of like passion killed. Like a buzz kill, boner kill, stuff like that. You know, like my junk just crawled back inside my body. I'm not enjoying this. There's the 7 of Pentacles. This is it's like... This is like some kind of a duck, but it does make me go back to that loon energy that I got over here. The 7 of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus. It's making me think of this pull of Uranus in Taurus and then Saturn retrograding through Aquarius. It's like... It's giving me impatience, but usually 7 of Pentacles gives me impatience when it's inverted. But it's kind of not. It wants to be an 8, though. It's like this person is like trying to grow this Ace of Rods, and they look over at their plant and they're like, hey, this isn't what I bought. What the hell? They gave me the wrong seeds. You know, like it's not in the right garden. It's not growing right. What's the hold up? Like it's not ready yet. It's, you know, my cake is still sticky in the middle. My souffle fell in the oven, that kind of energy. But now I need to clarify the 7 of Pentacles because it's being, like, obtuse. 120-degree angle. Queen of Rods inverted. Knight of Rods upright. 7 of Swords. Illusory. I'm getting like Jack and the Beanstalk vibes. I also just heard Mama told me not to come. That's Three Dog Night. What does that mean, though? I almost get this idea. It's like I snuck out of the house to... Oh, okay, alright. There's this thing where, I mean, it could be a maternal influence, especially with that Mama told me not to come. This energy that's sitting on this, over this Three of Cups sideways, it's like I'm trying to be out here chasing my passion, but my life purpose seems stagnated. But there's this sort of illusion that's coming from like a negative feminine energy, like a distorted feminine that's saying like, that's giving this like, you don't belong over here. This isn't like, this isn't your wheelhouse. Like, we don't do that. That's kind of drawing a line in the sand of this Knight of Rods trying to go out there and actually align with their ace. It's like, you know, this is like, this is the paper model of what I need to go out and find, but this real one growing out in nature is somehow unattainable because there's this illusory sabotage by a distorted feminine energy. It could be your mother, it could be a father who is in a feminine distortion, or it could be something that's sort of rooted in your own in your own ego. But I'm definitely getting this, there's like someone is trying to like trap you into a corner and say you can't, you don't get to play here, you're not allowed to use this garden. You know, like a bunch of naughty little animals that came and like ate up all your seeds after you planted them. And then you find out that it wasn't just animals, it was like somebody with a little drone that went out there and did it on like with malice aforethought. But definitely getting this idea of like social sabotage of some kind. I don't know what that means though. I don't know what it's related to. I suppose if it's applicable, then you'd know what it is. I think I need to change the battery because it's making me crazy. I have also heard a couple times in my head, and just now again when I was changing the battery, there's a line from Evita, and in the movie Antonio Banderas is singing, and it's hard to understand what he says unless because of his accent, but it's actually the greatest social climber since Cinderella. That was the line that he sang. And I kind of feel like that here. Right? It's like you're just trying to do your thing, and someone's like, oh, seven. Well, they don't mind you at Six of Pentacles, but Seven of Pentacles, now you're too big for your britches. You know, you can't have that. And again, this is like, can be illusion of some sort. It could be like, it's not just necessarily mind games, but it's like intentional sabotage, but it's also like theft. Like theft of brain power to some extent. Like poison. But again, it's like, you're out of your element, Donnie. You're not allowed to be up here at this. Oh, I just start 6s and 7s with you. And again, it's like you can be, you know, you're allowed to be out there. You might be able to be Knight of Rods, whatever, you can go pursue your dreams, but you don't get to claim anything in this castle. You know, you can look, but you can't have. That kind of thing. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, but don't swallow. And it's like, it's like somebody says, like, you don't get to be any better than that. You don't get to, like, I'm gonna cut you off from going 8, 9, 10. Which is probably why it's not manifesting in the dream world. You know, this mental, mental games here of some kind. 3 of Pentacles inverted. Right, here's this guy planting seeds. Right, he's sharing it with the squirrel here, but look, his blood is like bleeding into it. Like, how much do I have to suffer just to try to, like, grow something for myself? They're bleeding me dry. Right, sharing with people who are in alignment, but having it constantly taken away. So here's the 6 of Swords. Here it's a balance between lightness and darkness. Right? It's like I'm opening up this divide between my waking world and the dream world, and also the shadow aspect where people can get hold of this sort of ego of lack, of like of depression of when it's going to happen, and be like, oh no, you're kidding yourself. You're not allowed to be here. I wonder if this card's going to come out. I thought of it when I went to pick out this deck. But, oh. Here's Justice. This is the same kind of thing going on here. Again, I mentioned this with this. There's like a reckoning. This is Day of Reckoning. It's like I'm trying to dream it into being. And there's this 2 number that I was looking for earlier, but here it's in Wands. And usually this is some kind of like making a decision, and a lot of the time the picture has someone trying to offer somebody like a little Jack and the Beanstalk kind of a deal here. But here it makes me think more of a tuning fork. Again, it's like I'm trying to align with this higher energy, and that's sort of the only way that Justice will come in. Again, here Justice is 8 in this deck. Just like in this deck, this 8 is a death and rebirth. Sitting where Strength card wants to be. Let's see what's in the bottom of these decks. Okay, so I have the Moon inverted here. There's illumination coming in. And this 5 of Swords. Here this is could be like more last man standing than mind games, but it also is giving me particularly cutting through the bullshit. Right? I'm not gonna take this line that you keep giving me and choke on it. I'm like chopping right through it. No, I'm done with this. Again, this is like this is almost like they don't care about my point of view. They want me on the outside. If that's some particular force or of people that are trying to keep you out of a certain societal realm or business realm or something. Right? Some way Moon, some way water sign, a threat to somebody who wants to, who gains in some way, they think, by water sign not being able to get any greater manifestation. But you can see from this that even though there's kind of a difficult aspect to the month, that it's working to destroy the opposition, basically. Right? I mean, like, what does it mean if they try to kill you if when they've stuck the last sword in, you just kind of start floating up to the ceiling and then transform into, like, your final form? You know, sticks and stones, blah, blah, blah. Right, this Ace of Pentacles. Now, it came in kind of, it came off the pile kind of inverted, but I see these energies as the ones that are going to kind of persevere. There's this sort of humility to planting your own seeds through, like, blood, sweat, and tears kind of energy. And it's like, who's going to come and destroy this growth if you've been reborn as this? Like, nobody tells this dragon which pentacle they have to stop at. Like, oh, you think, how many pentacles? 6? I don't think so, motherfucker. Like, I'm going all the way up. Taking the elevator to the next level here. So even though this card kind of, I pulled it out this way, I don't need that to be inverted. So I have one other card here, the Three of Cups again. Notice how there's this emotional binding. It's almost like she's got the opposition tried to drown her with cement shoes. You know, it's like why should I try to join your group when, you know, this is like water element trying to join this group, and this person looks kind of shady, and this person, you can't even see their face. You know, they look a little bit suspect. And if your instincts are telling you the right thing, this is kind of where they want to see you end up. Like, again, this, like, tied up, thrown overboard, cement shoes kind of thing. And it's not even necessarily about discernment. It's like, but there's like a weird background love aspect too. And it feels like somebody's mom doesn't think you're acceptable to be with their child, or someone's distorted female friends don't think it's acceptable for you to be with their friend, or this distorted feminine energy either working through your ego of lack or directly from other people trying to specifically prevent you from getting ahead in, basically, in career. Some kind of physical manifestation. Some kind of sabotage of some sorts. There are swords energies in here. And there's holes where pages should be. So it could be like an online kind of a thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. There's some kind of, and it could even be energetic, right? But it's the next month is like a cosmic energy washing machine spin cycle. And in the case of this reading, the water signs have the upper hand. If you're in that loon energy, you can dive underwater. You can go through that rinse cycle. And you're going to be fine. And when you come out again, all shiny, you know, nobody can tell you fucking anything, basically. It's a weird reading. But it's like whether you know people have been, people, energies, whatever, have been plotting against you, or it feels that way. There's been some kind of blockage to further achievement. It's like a cosmic cleanup crew. This sort of piranha feeding, medieval ostracization tactics aren't going to hold water after this second Aquarius full moon and the second double cycles of Taurus and Gemini at the end of the month. It's a reckoning, and I would expect to see some things start changing. Again, it's like their methods don't hold water. Well, what are water signs? They can't contain you with their restriction. All right, so that's what we have for August, and I feel pretty satisfied where I'm leaving it, so I'm going to leave it there. You know, how you deal with that is up to you. I mean, you can think of, there's a lot of stuff going on that's swords. You can work on your throat chakra. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Cups, heart chakra, and the other energies that were popping up as you get towards the end of the month more have to do with wands, which is usually the solar chakra. And there's a lot of pentacles in here, which usually have to do with the material world, but if we're dealing with grounding, you could also do work on grounding. And I think instead of more root chakra, you want to go all the way down below your feet to the earth star chakra, which is supposed to be copper. So there's a soul star chakra that floats about a foot above your head, and the one that you want to link into for this is going to be copper, and about just sort of energetically hovering about a foot below your feet. Or if you don't have feet, you know, somewhere in that region. All right. Yes. If you want to get a personal reading, I have them listed in the description box underneath my video here. So let me get this. Okay. So on my WordPress website, there's a page that lists the reading as well. It's not linked that well. I think it's like black on dark green, but you should be able to find it. And again, the list is just like in plain text down underneath here. So I've got merch and prints and actual art items. There's a coupon code for Etsy. If you go through the link tree, it should pop in at the top of the page. I've got plushies and foam lotuses and little like synchronicity stimulus packets. I've got templates for foam lotuses. I've got printable charms. You can print them on your favorite paper, glue them onto thicker paper if you want to, wood or anything. There's 205 charms on 4 sheets, and those are available. I have 2 sets that are printed out that I can mail to you on cardstock. Those are on Etsy. I've got coloring books, dark poetry. If you'd like to contribute to my channel, or if you want an energy exchange, tip jar, if this was useful to you, that's PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.